Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Reviews and Previews. We're back after a very interesting week in the Premier League again, and all competitions actually, including the Carabao Cup. We'll get into that in a minute. What happened this week in the Prem? As you can see there, Tottenham Arsenal was postponed, as I thought it would be. Arsenal got away with one there, I think, luckily. In midweek, madness happened. Newcastle only got a point against Watford. We'll talk about that in a minute. Phil Coutinho scored against Man United to rescue a point for Villa. Wins for Man City, Norwich, surprisingly, and Wolves. Brighton and Crystal Palace with a 1-1 draw. I think I called that one. Leeds got a win against West Ham, surprisingly. So it was a good weekend for Arsenal overall. Not many points picked up by the teams around them. Chelsea then went on for another draw, but then on Wednesday, you wouldn't believe what happened. Tottenham in the 95th minute were losing 2-1, and then Bergwijn gets two scabby goals in the 95th and 97th minute. Should have been full time before they even scored the winner, but referee don't know what he was doing there. And then Man United also got a win. And then in the Carabao Cup last night, Arsenal went down 2-0 to Liverpool. Diogo Jota with 2 goals, Partey getting sent off late, didn't really matter though. And so that was poor from Arsenal last night, bad performance, didn't do much. So out of the cup in the semis, did well to get to that far I think though, although they could play easy teams, didn't show up for that game last night though. We'll talk about Newcastle though, and St. Maximin, he was having a bit of a stinker in the first half, then popped up with a goal for 50th minute. But then João Pedro equalises in the 87th minute, late on. And it felt like a defeat. You're right there, Eddie. God. It felt like we had it. I was listening to the game, and then they just scored right at the last minute. Rubbish defending from Jamal Lascelles. Got out jumped by some small forward. Absolutely rubbish from him again. Our centre-backs letting us down once again. That leaves us down in 19th again. Norwich won, so went above us. We did go above Burnley, but, we stayed with Watford. But Watford got some good games coming up again. They're playing Norwich tonight, and then Burnley next week, I think. It's been rescheduled. That's not too good, unfortunately. Good, alright. It's an alright performance from Newcastle. I thought they did well, but they just could not hold on. They lost the most points from winning positions this season, which tells you a lot. They can't hold on to their draws or their wins even. I think Newcastle, they played well, but they probably didn't deserve to quite win it. Watford did alright. One shot on target was the goal. It's absolutely poor from everyone, really. Rubbish, really. Chris Wood didn't have a great game, did alright. Trippier, not too bad at the back. But I think our centre-back's letting us down again. Joe Linton had an alright game. Midfield is a bit of a meh performance, really. Nothing really happened in the game. Bit of a poor game, to be honest, for quality. You can tell why both are in the relegation zone at the minute, or relegation places. Well, yeah, Watford are just outside of the minute. Big game tonight, actually, between them and Norwich. Newcastle got a lot of work to do if they want to stay out of trouble. They've got to hope there's a few draws coming up between these two. Otherwise, we're in the absolute mud. Arsenal, we'll talk about them a bit actually. So the Tottenham game did get postponed, that was good. And then against Liverpool, as I said last night, absolutely horrible. Lacazette hit the bar first few minutes in, and then Jota scored a pretty lucky goal. Ramsdale probably should have saved it. It was a good finish, really. And then Jota gets another one in the second half, where it was given offside, but it was off. It was on, to be fair. Liverpool played very well. Arsenal didn't. That's all we got to say, really. Tottenham have gone above them now, and they've still got a game in hand, which is not good. So fixtures this week could be very interesting before a bit of a break. I think there is anyway. Yeah, the Burnley-Watford game has been postponed. Well, not postponed, but moved to Saturday, so that's not good. Anyway, we'll get straight into the predictions this week. Starting with Watford v Norwich, I feel a bit of a Watford win on tonight. I think we're Watford 2, Norwich 0. I'll go Everton 1, Villa 1. Big Duncan Ferguson in charge now. I'll go Brentford 0, Wolves 2. Wolves on a good run at the minute, beating everyone by the looks of it. I'll go Leeds 2, Newcastle 1. I think there's a loss there. Go Man United 2, West Ham 1, Southampton 0, Man City 1. On Sunday, I think Arsenal should win that easily against Burnley. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 3. Leicester 0. What am I on about? Leicester 1, Brighton 1. And I'll go Chelsea 2, Tottenham 1. Chelsea aren't playing very well, but Tottenham can't afford them to get a win against Chelsea there. Arsenal to get pulled back in front of them again this week, hopefully. Anyway, Man United, West Ham, big game for the top 4 as well there. Anyway, we'll get straight into it. Leeds versus Newcastle. So yeah, unfortunately, Leeds got a win last week, so they're on a good bit of a momentum. So, yeah, 3 o'clock game at Ellen Road away. It's going to be a loss, isn't it? It's going to be a loss, unfortunately, for Newcastle. I think they're in trouble. They are in big trouble. They need a few more signings. Who've been linked with Diego Carlos. Haven't got that over the line. Jesse Lingard's been linked. What a loan move. Can't get that one over the line at the minute. Yeah, there's a few others. Some left back called Backer or whatever. Baker. Might be a bit close to signing. A few others here and there. You linked to half the blooming players in the world, to be honest, when you're Newcastle at the minute. Yeah, the quality on show last week was not good, and it seems like it's not going to be getting much better. I think this is going to be a Leeds win, to be honest. Leeds, with that last 2 wins, the last 2 Prem games, have got a bit of momentum on their side now, so they're going to be at home with the home fans. That's going to be a big factor, I think. Newcastle normally get slapped about by Leeds. Leeds are just better in quality, I think. Jack Harrison with a hat-trick last week, to be fair. Fair play to him. The likes of Rafinha and him could really wreak havoc on Newcastle. Rafinha, I remember scoring against us earlier this season. Harrison scored against us last season as well. Yeah. I just don't see anything getting out of this. If we get anything out of this game, I think that's a bonus, because we realistically have to get something out of it, but I just don't see it, really. Because Leeds, sort of, if they hadn't won that game against West Ham, I think I'd have probably said maybe a draw, but because they won that game, I think they've got a bit of momentum. Momentum's key, and we haven't got any at the minute. 1 win all of the season, that's the least out of anybody now. Well, Burnley as well, obviously, but they're Burnley. And Burnley got 3 games in hand, so, you know, anything could happen there. So I think Newcastle are in big trouble. I don't know why people are saying, oh yeah, they'll stay up. I don't think they will. I'm saying it now. Newcastle getting relegated. I think they will. I'm not very optimistic at the minute, but I just don't see it. I just don't see us getting out of the mire at the minute, because there's too many teams around us picking up too many points, and they're playing each other. So one of them's got to win eventually. So we could be bottom by the end of next week, really, or this week even. So yeah, we're struggling. We need some points from somewhere. We need a win. Just 1 win from anywhere. That Cambridge game really did us in, didn't it? God, lost to a rowing team. Yeah, so that's my fate with Newcastle. I think Arsenal, poor performance. It was an interesting performance against Liverpool last night. Party came back from Ghana after they got eliminated from the AFCON on actually the day that the game was played, so yesterday, and then he got sent off after coming on for 20 minutes when the game was dead. So now we've got no more midfielders. Xhaka and him are both suspended for this game, so that could be interesting. Lokonga the only midfielder again. So yeah, we just didn't offer a lot in attack, which is unlike us this season. I thought we just didn't really have that edge to us. We didn't really do anything. It was surprising. It was a really interesting performance, because we didn't hit the heights of where we have been hitting. And luckily, our next game's against Burnley, we're bottom of the league. But you know what? It's Arsenal. Anything could happen. We could lose. We could lose this game realistically. Burnley might be a bit fresher, to be honest, because they haven't played so much and they haven't got as many injuries. But they actually have, because they have had a bit of COVID recently, so that could limit their selections. Obviously, no Maxwell Cornet, who's their star player. He's at AFCON with Ivory Coast, doing pretty well. Pepe scored a banger for them the other day. So yeah, Arsenal struggling for players. I think Tommy Asu and Smith Rowe looked a bit rusty last night after coming back from injury. Probably rushed back a bit too soon. So that's probably not the best, smartest thing to be doing there, Mikel. Ramsdale's a bit suspect last night, I thought. He's not look as confident as he has been. A few pitch invaders last night as well. Interesting to see. But yeah, as you can see the table there, Arsenal have gone down into that 6th place. We don't want to be going. Got games in hand over West Ham, who are playing Man United, 4th versus 7th. That could be a key game. We got games in hand over Man United and West Ham actually, but Tottenham got a game in hand still over us. So if Tottenham win their game in hand, they are on to 39 points and away pretty much. So Arsenal still got to play West Ham, Tottenham and Man United. They've got to pick up points from those games. But as for now, they've just got to play the teams that come in front of them and beat them, really. Just got to keep getting 3 points over the next couple of weeks. Got Wolves after this little week break. It's not even an international break coming up. I thought it was, but it's just like a random little rest, I think, for teams to just have a little rest and, yeah, maybe not get so tired. Yeah, Burnley are struggling at the minute. I think this will be close. I think this will be close. I'm going 3-1, but I think it'll be closer than it sounds. 3-1 Arsenal, but with lack of players, it's going to be tight. Anyway, let's go to the top scorers. Salah start in front, even though he's not in the country. Vardy closing in a bit. Well, he's not playing. What am I on about? Jota not really closing in, are they? They're all sort of just stayed stagnant on 10, 9, 8 goals. Conor Gallagher coming up the ranks. Geez, Saka on 6. Damn. Wilson's on the list. Damn, I didn't know that. Smith Rowe joint 4th with 8. Hasn't been doing much recently. Maybe he'll bag another. It's going to be an interesting week in terms of who's going to play for Arsenal, certainly. Newcastle probably the same team. We haven't done the assists, actually. Trent way ahead now. Got an assist last week. Did he? Yeah, he did. He did get an assist last week. Salah got 9 still, and Bowen, Jesus, Pogba, Antonio Robertson. Yeah, the list goes on. And then on to the table, Man City pulling away clear. Still got. Liverpool have a game in hand, so they could close up to 8 points, but I think they're done. They're over. It's over. As for Newcastle, I think it's almost over. It's not over, but it's never over till it's over, as they say. They've got to keep believing, keep fighting, keep going for it. Just keep working. They play well. They've got a decent team. They play well, but they don't have that killer instinct at the minute. Same with Arsenal on Thursday, actually. Poor performance from them. Expected more. Everton getting pulled into a bit of a relegation fight. Sacked Benitez, obviously. I was looking forward to the reunion between Newcastle and Benitez for the Everton game when we were going to play them, but obviously hasn't happened. Leeds, they're sort of a middle. From Brighton to Leeds, they're sort of mid-table. They're not really going to get into European football. Wolves, you never know with Wolves, do you? They've got 2 games in hand over West Ham, so they could level up with them on points, realistically. So that could be interesting. But yeah, apart from that, it's looking pretty tight for the top 4 at the minute. That's probably going to be the most interesting thing, as well as the relegation fight, which could go down to the wire. I think the next couple of weeks, next couple of Watford games are pretty key. If they get a win tonight against Norwich, I think they're pulling away clear. That's 5 points that Newcastle will be off the relegation places, and we'll be in big trouble. If Norwich win, then we're still in trouble because they'll be on 4 points away. So yeah, it's a big match tonight between those two, Burnley and Watford. Between Norwich and Watford tonight, there's Watford v Burnley in a couple of weeks as well, before Newcastle play another game. So we could be in very big trouble before we even kick another ball. So anyway, Newcastle in trouble. So are Arsenal, I think, as well. They need a bit of a break, which is luckily coming up, and a few good fixtures, which is also luckily coming up, to just steer the ship. Newcastle need to steer the ship more, though. Anyway, I've waffled on a bit there. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Bye. Bye.